Good morning, everybody. Today I am here at Eagle Beach, a cloudy Eagle Beach this time, and I'm going to do a report this morning and throughout the day. Today is the 29th of June and we are expecting a storm to pass pretty close to Aruba, which is pretty rare. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit in this part of the vlog. Now I'm not going to do like a normal walk video that I normally do. I wouldn't consider it's going to be a vlog either, but I'm going to go over a few subjects and talk a little bit about that. Now, as I mentioned, I am here at the Eagle Beach and I wanted to briefly show you first what they often say, like it's the calm before the storm, and possibly later on today we might get a chance to see a different Eagle Beach and maybe even a transformed Eagle Beach. And the storm is expected to last more or less like 2 days, and what is mostly expected is heavy rains, and that is always a concern because the streets of Aruba especially are not built very much for that type of weather, like a lot of rain in a short time. Now, so far it's kind of a beautiful day, except the sun is, as you can notice, not out. There are a few folks taking some pictures, some photos here of the fofoti trees. I'm going to get out of the way so they can get some nice photos. But I've made some notes also regarding the storms that have passed in the past over Aruba, and from my research, because I wasn't here back then, but I see a Janet in 1955. I do remember my parents and grandparents used to talk about a storm in the 1950s that apparently was one of the ones that they can remember the most hardly hit Aruba. I don't think it was a direct hit, and I don't remember ever hearing about a direct hit or a hurricane that, you know, like maybe had a direct hit to Aruba. And then we had storm, or yeah, I think it was a storm, pretty much Ivan or Ivan, depends on if you are talking about it in English or Spanish. We would say it here in Papiamento, Ivan, like we would pronounce it like in Spanish. And then that one was pretty tough, and what I can remember is that one was the one where it really, the rain was, we never had in my lifetime a more intense rain, and certainly the most flooding that we've ever had on the island of Aruba. And there are some photos online. I will try to put some of them, maybe if I can find them, I'll put some of them you know, like somewhere in the video here. And then we had the Hurricane Felix that passed close by to the island. And so we have to remember that none of these actually was a direct hit. So we were like within maybe 50, 60 miles more or less, or 100 kilometers from these storms. And then we had the last one that we had, and I do remember this one, is the Matthews, like a tail of it in 2016. And so I have made a few notes here on my phone, and I might have some photos of that one, maybe even videos. I'm going to look for that one too. So I'm going to go through my Instagram and try to find some photos. And you know, like I would say, like for me, when these things happen, while they are never fun, I do like it because I'm trying to make like nice looking photos, and I certainly did in 2016. But obviously, as far as the beach, as far as part of the destruction, at least temporarily, of the beach.
Can we take a picture with you?
Yeah, sure.
Seen everything on YouTube.
Sure.
Big fans.
Of course.
Klar? A selfie. 1, 2.
Vi tar en litt mer av deg òg.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Where are you guys from?
Norway.
Norway.
Yeah.
Wow. That's my. I want to go to Norway one day.
You should.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Owen, welcome, and stay safe. Yeah. I would like. That's. I'm not kidding. That's one of my places that I would consider like my top 2 or 3 countries that I've always wanted to visit, and still hope to do so. Now, as far as today, the plans, you know, like some preparations have been going on by the government officials, and one of them, what the hell? One of them is that they are, no, fly, get away. One of those things is that they are, you know, like making sure that they are cutting the trees, they're preparing the roads a little bit as best as they can, and such things. Another thing that I did notice is that some restaurants are announcing, you know, that they are going to be closed tonight. And what I would recommend everyone is to get an early dinner, and maybe like 4 p.m. or stay for your dinner at your hotel. I do expect that most of the, let me get away from this fly, like most of the hotels, restaurants will continue to be open. And yeah, that's more or less what it is. And depending on the situation, they will or will not be open tomorrow. So if you are able to, do get some extra, you know, like water, stock up a little bit on water. Don't overdo it. We're not expecting anything major. All right. And then the airport, right now it's close to 9 p.m. It's 9 p.m., 9 a.m., sorry. And the airport was supposed to announce a few moments ago, or is in deliberation actually right now, to announce what the plans are, if they plan to close or if the airlines still plan to continue flying to Aruba as normal. Sometimes they do, and even though the winds could carry on, I think that in this case it's mostly the rain, the hard rain, that they are concerned about. Now, I don't see any problems for today, but maybe for tomorrow, and maybe the later flights, like the flights after 4 p.m. or so, could be affected. I don't really expect it, but you never know. This remains like unpredictable in some way, and you never know how the winds could change at last moment. Now, another thing that I did notice is that the Free Winds was canceled yesterday, so I do believe it's still in port then. That's the cruise ship, and the Explorer of the Seas is not docking here tomorrow, so they have decided to cancel and go to somewhere else. And the government, as usual, they also announced that they want all of the boats out of the water, or at least if you cannot, like we can see like a catamaran over there, and we cannot see any other boats. Well, I can see one over there, but most of them will head on to an area close to the airport's runway, and they'll stay on the inside, like the Renaissance Islands, if you're familiar with that. They'll stay on the inside. So we do have that advantage here, that the boats can stay fairly safe. We do have islands that kind of like protected, and that's very, very good. Some islands don't have that. Many islands don't have that, so that's an advantage. The tides will most probably get pretty rough, and that's the reason why I wanted to show you this morning first. What else? So later on today, we'll see probably the folks clearing up all of these chairs, all of these beach chairs. But for now, it should be no problem. And they are, I'm sure that all of the resorts are, you know, ready to do anything like they can to make sure that, you know, as far as the beach and the chairs, they don't start flying away and things like that. What else? The key time for us today is 6 p.m. But I just spoke to a friend in Curacao, and he was mentioning that it's already started raining there. Not too bad yet, but the first effects of the storm is already in Curacao, which is just like 100 kilometers away from us. So it should be here. We might start getting some rain anytime now. I do look at the, you know, the weather, and certainly the sun is not really out. You kind of see where it is, but it's not really out. And as far as the winds, I would have to take a look at what the difference is, but we are expecting winds so far up to like 50 kilometers, 50 plus kilometers. And that is not very high to what we already are accustomed to, actually. And we usually get like between 15 and 25 knots, more or less. So and it can get to 30, 35. So it's nothing out of the ordinary, but with the sustained winds and then also with the rain, heavy rain, then that could cause certainly a lot of damage. Now the roads will be flooded, and that's one of those things, that's my last note for this morning. And the roads will be like flooded for the most part if it starts to pour, as I mentioned in the beginning. And that's something you got to take into account, because some areas you could not have either access or easy access with, you know, like with all vehicles. You will not have access to, say, a restaurant, say to a resort, or you cannot get out. And places like Palm Beach is affected often, and also other parts of the island. I'll leave it up to now. This morning I'll probably make a brief vlog also this afternoon and see if we notice any changes. Maybe the next time I am doing this, I'm probably under an umbrella and it might be raining, so the conditions might vary absolutely. And I do hope to be uploading this one later tonight if we have a good internet speed and everything. And anyway, I do hope that you appreciate me doing this. I love, you know, weather-related topics, but I do hope that everyone and everything stays safe. Not just people, but also, you know, like you know, the material things like the beaches stay nice, and the piers, which, you know, all of those things are money to build and time. And if they do get damaged, then and then it's you know, that could be a problem. See you later, guys, and I'm signing off for now. So guys, right now I am heading to the Arashi Beach, hopefully, and the streets are pretty flooded already. We have had rain for the last hour, and what can I say? I'm a little bit afraid that I cannot get back home afterwards, but I do, and I did promise you guys to do this one, and so far it has been relative. I mean, it has rained a little bit hard at times, but it's, you know, it goes to show how quickly our streets can get flooded. So as you can see, that's just like an hour rain. It did rain a little bit also this morning, a little bit hard, but most stores by now are closed. I think the Do It Center, which is you know, a supermarket combined with a you could kind of compare it to like a Walmart. It is closed. Some convenience stores are still open. I think most restaurants are closed by now, and you could get lucky to have one, maybe at the hotels, as I mentioned previously. Right now, by the way, it is 2:45 p.m. and we do need to be inside by 6, and so I have to keep that in mind in case it gets you know, this drive gets a little bit long. I do need to make sure that I start heading back home as early as possible, and I will be spending it at home later tonight. And if anything, either I'll have an update or I'll be uploading this video for you guys. So guys, we are at the Arashi Beach. I just arrived here and noticed some folks over here, but the beach mostly is empty. And we're also very close to the lighthouse. I'm under an umbrella here so the camera can stay a little bit dry, and it is raining. It is raining okay. Let me get down here. And it is raining okay, but we'll take good care of the camera. Even though it's a GoPro, so we should have no issues, and probably it'll be very funny for the rest of the folks to see me with an umbrella on the beach. But I wanted to show you guys some folks doing some surfing in this area, and that's very popular. We could possibly expect at some point maybe the police will be passing by and telling them to get out of the water, but for the time being, it looks cool. I used to not surf, but I used to bodyboard years ago, and I find it something really, really nice to do. And as far as the rest of the Arashi Beach, not a lot of people here. It's mostly clear. I see like maybe 10 people on the other side, on the bar side, and the water itself actually looks really good, and if not for the waves I would get in. But we're going to check out Palm Beach, which is way in the distance back there. I can barely see it because of the rain, and we'll check out here, like we will sign off here and head over onto that side. So I decided to stop briefly and show you the temperature. Right now it's in Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius. That's very rare for Aruba, especially during the day. So that means that at 3 o'clock usually you will find that around 30, 31 more or less. And that means that the temperature of you know, maybe later tonight we might even see a record low temperature for Aruba. Who knows? So briefly checking out the Paseo Herencia among other things, and I do see a lot of the stores are either taped up or they got some of the palapas down. This has got some tapes. Don't know if that works, but that's what we have right now. And also the Hacienda Mall on the next side. So no markets today. Mostly everything is closed. I did see like 2 restaurants still open. I think it was the local store and another one next to it. But otherwise, pretty much everything is closed. And now we are at 3:15. So yeah, mostly everybody is inside already. And I'm one of the few crazy ones still on the road. And I did see a lot of police cars, so they are driving around and making sure that everybody is staying safe. And probably, maybe not yet, but if it gets to it, they will start telling people to head back home or head for, you know, wherever you're living or you're staying, and stay inside. So I just took off my shoes and parked my car, and I am right now in between the Hyatt Hotel and the Barcelo, and this is the access road that I talked about last week in my walking video, and I just wanted to like come and check out part of the Palm Beach situation, and I can definitely see that all of the beach chairs already stacked up, and so far so good. Hopefully it will stay the same and that we will not get a lot of wind, because that is when things can get like bad, and that's when we get those big waves. And even where I am standing now, you could like potentially get the waves all the way up here, and of course the pier will get in trouble. But this kind of looks the same as, wow, this looks like flashback of lockdown 2020 more or less. Look at this. This is 2022 and it's basically completely empty. If you like 6 folks, 7 maybe in the water, and nobody here. Where is everybody? Oh my goodness. But as you can see, the water is very, very calm. Not very clear today, but it is, wow, it's warm. It's very warm. Oh gosh. Or maybe it's cold outside, so it feels warmer than usual. This is very surprising actually. But yeah, if you don't mind the rain, this is a great day to be at the Palm Beach actually. I would get in. The water is very warm. I don't remember it being this warm for like ever. Did you guys see the fish jumping over there? This feels very different. So I'm gonna cut it here, and now we are heading to back to the Eagle Beach, and we'll check out there and probably maybe the Divi Beach. If so, if not, we'll be checking out those beaches as well.
12:10. Cairo. Well, it looks quite bright. Manuela's the superfoods. Crazy. Crazy, isn't it?
And now we are at the Eagle Beach, and again 2020 all over. Nobody at the beach around 3 p.m. Can you believe that? And I think I'm the only one that actually likes going to the beach when it's raining. And let's check out the water. Now there doesn't really seem to me anything out of the ordinary over here either. Wow, I don't see anyone, seriously. Like, no one on this side. I'll probably see some folks. Wow. Like way in the distance I see like 2 couples, like 4 people. Wow. Why? It's not as dangerous. But remember, the storm hasn't gotten here yet, and that might be the reason why the tides are okay, the waves are okay, and it looks beautiful, by the way. Beautiful. And maybe tomorrow we might have like stronger waves actually. The waves might be just a little bit stronger than the usual. But you could still swim here. I wouldn't necessarily do it here, but at Palm Beach it was certainly okay. No water sports. Beautiful beach, at least for walking. And I look super weird with an umbrella on the beach. I've never seen anyone do it. But yeah, we'll sign off here too. And next we will head to the Divi Beach. This is crazy. So right now we are at the Divi Beach, and I'm just noticing an aircraft, an American Airlines aircraft, still landing. There should be no problem really, because there's even less wind than there usually is. So no problems there. That flight will leave later today apparently. And over here I do see some folks. We are next to the Casa del Mar. Let me make sure I locked my car briefly. And yeah, we are next to the Casa del Mar. The Matthew's restaurant is over there, and it's even over here it's fairly calm. Let's check out on the Divi Resort side. I did not get out with my umbrella this time because I felt like it's still raining, but very light rain. And hopefully the drops, they don't get into the lens. And yeah, there are a few more folks on this side. Of course, these resorts are situated right on the beach, so compared to say the Eagle Beach, where it's mostly the locals and some of the folks from La Cabana and other resorts in that area maybe prefer to stay inside for the time being. And I'm standing next to the runway right now, and I can still see some airplanes, like I think more than like 4 flights that need to go out still before 6 or so. And what I can say is that so far so good, and I will be making more videos of the storm if I feel like they are necessary. And depending, I might go live, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go home, edit all of these clips, put them together, and upload it for you guys to watch tonight. If you are watching this in the future, hopefully things did go well for us in Aruba, and that the storm passed without much damage. That's the best case scenario for us. I did see some weed trees down already because of even the little rain that we got, and that's always something. Like if you're parking your cars, don't be parking it under a tree. There is something that happens a lot where these type of trees will fall when we get a lot of rain. And so I was leaving, and I just saw an aircraft leaving right now also. That's what pretty much I was doing, next to the runway. And it is a JetBlue Airbus 320, probably heading to either JFK or Boston. And we'll wave high, not wave high, but wave by. Nothing further. Thanks for watching this one. Thanks for hanging around till the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Remember to subscribe, like, and share, and be pending for more content coming soon. Bye bye, guys.